Good afternoon everyone. Welcome back to online classes of analog communication. In last class we have seen about your receivers. I hope you are all have gone through the video properly. So what we have seen in the last class was about receivers, introduction part of the receivers. Then we've seen the functions of the receiver, characteristics and classifications. So before we go to the next topic of receivers, we'll just revise what was a receiver. What was a receiver? It is an electromagnetic equipment which picks up the desired signal, rejects the unwanted signal and amplifies the desired signal. Then it demodulates your modulated signals to get back your original message signal, what it was transmitted from the transmitter. So receiver is an equipment. Which equipment? It is an electronic equipment which will be picking up your desired signal. Then it will be removing unwanted noise or signals. Then it will be amplifying your signal. Then it is then demodulated. Then from that one you are separating your carrier and message, and again your original message signal will be obtained. So that is how we have seen about your receivers. Correct? So this was the block diagram of your receiver. Means a radio receiver, which is defined as an electronic equipment which picks up the desired signal, then it will be rejecting the unwanted signal, then it amplifies and then demodulates your modulated signal as to get your original message signal. So this was your block of your communication system, where you will be having a transmitter from which you are transmitting your message signal. Then from communication channel through a particular channel, your message has been transmitted to the receiver. Okay, this was about your receiver. Then we have seen the classifications of the receivers. So based on this, the receivers have been classified into different types, like AM receiver, AM modulation receiver, FM receivers, TV receivers, communication receivers, and lastly was your radar receivers. Correct? So now after all this, again we have two more receivers that we'll be seeing in today's class. So as I have said that depending upon the applications, what the application we are going to prepare, the receivers have been classified into AM receivers. Then we are having your FM receivers. Then you had your communication receivers for reception of telegraph and shortwave signals or telephone signals. Then we will be having a television receivers for VHF and UHF bands. Then last one is your radar receivers, which is used to receive the radio detection and ranging signals. Yes ma'am. So now these were the, depending upon the applications, we have categorized your receivers into 5 different types. Now based upon your what we'll say fundamental aspects, we are classifying your receiver into again 2 types. Okay, first one is tuned radio frequency receiver, and the second one is your super heterodyne receivers. These are the 2 receivers that are again classified. See, the receivers what we have seen yesterday, they were depending upon the applications, which kind of application you are going to prefer or which kind of application you are preparing. On that basis, we have classified our receivers into 5 different types. Like if we are going for the satellite communication or for GPS and all, then we will be using your radar receivers. Whenever you are going for a televisions, TV broadcasting, so for all that one, we are using your television receivers. And for communication purpose, or the short for telephones, okay, all this for all this one, we will be using communication receivers. Okay, depending again we will be having frequency modulation receivers and amplitude modulation receivers depending upon the frequency bands. So that was completely depending upon the application, we have divided the receivers. Now depending upon the fundamental aspects, we are again classifying our receivers into 2 different types, that are your tuned radio frequency receivers and super heterodyne receivers. These receivers are very important. Compulsory there will be a question for your 5 marks or 10 marks depending upon the examiner. But one of the bit of your long answers, surely you will be getting the question of about your either high power level transmitters, high and low power transmitters are there, no, that one. And the important part in your receivers is your tuned radio frequency receivers and super heterodyne receivers. So we'll see one by one. First one is tuned radio frequency receivers. Correct? So I'll just first define what is tuned radio frequency, then afterwards we'll see the characteristics of this one. Listen carefully about your tuned radio frequency receiver definition, what I'm saying. So this receiver is a simple receiver that is used only for fixed frequency receiving. Okay, so where you will be using this tuned receivers? Tuned radio frequency receiver means this you will be using only at the fixed frequency range or the fixed frequency receiver. Wherever the receivers that are used only at the fixed frequency, at that particular point we will be using this tuned radio frequency receivers. So these receivers now what we will say, in some particular application only this we will be using because of its low cost. One is one advantage and one is it is simplicity. Okay. So as we have said, what is a tuned radio frequency receiver? A receiver which is simple and straight receiver which is only used for fixed frequency receiver. Suppose if you are having a particular application where you will be using some 30 megahertz of frequency. So above or below of that frequency the receiver won't be accepting any kind of frequency. It will be accepting only and only 30 megahertz of frequency. At that particular applications only we will be using our tuned radio frequency receivers, right? So this receiver, what are some key points of that one is, it will be composing of RF amplifiers and detectors. What are the key components that are present in your tuned radio frequency? Okay, then you will be having no frequency conversion. As I have already said, there will be no changing in the frequency, only one fixed frequency. And it is not oftenly used because in some particular application needs only that particular fixed range of receiver, only at that point we will be using this one, or else in general practice we won't be using this tuned radio frequency receivers. Correct? Now difficult to design these tunable RF stages, I'll show next in the next papers. Then difficult to obtain the high gain RF amplifiers. Okay, this is about your tuned radio frequency receiver. Now what are the two key points of your super heterodyne receivers are? Down convert RF signal into the lower IF frequency, intermediate frequency, and main amplification takes place at your intermediate frequency. So these are the key points, ma. Afterwards I will be telling it clearly. Okay, just a brief intro about your two receivers, and one more after that we will be having a communication receiver that is also based upon your fundamentals. It is down convert your RF signal to the two radio intermediate frequency receivers. Okay, so first we will see about your tuned radio frequency receivers. As I have already said in the key points, this is the block diagram of your tuned radio frequency receiver. So in this tuned radio frequency receiver, this receiver is what we classified into three stages. Okay, it will be having three stages. The first stage, it is having your tuned radio frequency amplifier, and this part is called as your RF stage. Okay, radio frequency stage, where you will be having RF amplifiers, either 2 to 3 you will be having the RF amplifiers. Then in the next stage they will be having a detector stage, and the third stage you will be having an audio output stage, means you will be having an audio amplifier. So depending upon that one you will be amplifying your output signal. Okay, the unmodulated, your original message signal. So this tuned radio frequency receiver is classified into three stages. First stage is your RF stage, then second stage is your detector stage, and the third one is your audio stage. Correct? Let's see it briefly. So this is actual figure of your radio frequency receiver. Okay, which receiver? Tuned radio frequency, or TRF, tuned radio frequency receiver. As I was said, the first stage is of your RF stage, radio frequency stage, then you will be having a detector stage, audio detector, then you will be having an audio amplifier or a audio stage. These are the three stages. Okay, first one is your, as I said, RF selection stage or the RF stage. In this, the radio frequency selection consists of 2 to 3 radio frequency tuned amplifiers. You see here you are having 1, 2, 3, either 2 or 3. You will be having radio frequency amplifiers. 2 or 3 radio frequency amplifiers are required to filter and amplify the received signal to a level sufficient to drive to the detector stage. Why we are using this RF amplifiers here? Because we are amplifying the signal which has came from the transmitter, okay, to the receiving antenna. So why we are this amplifying? Because we have to amplify the received signal to a sufficient level so that it will be able to go to the next stage, that is your detector stage. Okay, so next stage is your detector stage. This detector stage recovers the original message signal from the modulated signal which is being applied as its input signal. I'll repeat it once again. What it will be doing, see here, this RF amplifier stage or the RF stage, what it takes the modulated signal from the receiving antenna, whatever we have transmitted from the transmitting antenna, and this RF amplifiers will be boosting up or amplifying your received RF signal in a sufficient level so that it will be able to move to the next stage, that is your audio detector. And this audio detector, what is the input of audio detector now? It is also a modulated signal. It is a combination of your carrier and the message signal. But this detector states, or the detector stage recovers the original message signal which is obtained from your modulated signal. Okay, so it will be taking off your original message signal, and now that original message signal is given to your audio stage, means you will be having an audio amplifiers here. Now see why you will be using this audio amplifiers. This audio stage or the audio amplifiers will be having of audio voltage and audio power amplifiers which will be raising the detected signal to a sufficient level so as to drive it to the loudspeaker or to the receiver. Either it may be a loudspeaker, either you can consider it as a headset also. You will be getting a voice to your headsets at the last point. So either to the loudspeakers or any of the kind of receiver at the other end. So this audio stage, it comprises of audio voltage and power amplifiers. What they will be doing, they will be boosting up or the raising your detected, means your original message signal into sufficient level, into the level where you can hear the noise, into a sufficient level, and it will be driving through the loudspeaker. So finally this loudspeaker converts the audio signal into the sound waves corresponding to the original sound at the broadcasting station. So what is this loudspeaker lastly doing, the speaker? This will be converting your audio signal into the sound waves. You will be hearing directly to the sound waves which will be corresponding to the original sound at the broadcasting station. So this is how your tuned radio frequency receiver will be working. So what is tuned radio frequency receiver? We will just revise once again. A simple receiver which is only used for a fixed frequency. Okay, for a fixed frequency receiver we will be using this tuned radio frequency receivers. And this tuned radio frequency is consisting of 3 blocks. First block is your RF stage or the RF selection block, and the second one is your audio detector, and third one is your audio stage. In the RF block, what you will be having? You will be having 2 to 3 RF tuned amplifiers. Why we are using this tuned amplifiers? Because we have to raise this modulated signal which we have got from the transmitter to such a level that it will be driving to the detector stage. We have to drive the signal to the detector stage. And this detector stage, what it will be doing? It will be separating, or it will be taking out your modulated message signal from your modulated signal or the original signal. It will be recovering your original message signal from the modulated signal which is applied as an input. The input of your audio detector is nothing but the modulated signal. Fine. Then afterwards your original message signal is then given to the third stage. Which one is this? Audio stage. Means it will be having an audio voltage plus audio power amplifiers as to boost up your original message signal to a level, to a sufficient level where it can be driven to the speaker, either speaker or the headset, either is whatever the receiver at the back end you will be having at the last one, there it will be driving up. And this lastly speaker, what it does, it again converts your audio signal into the sound waves. So this is how your tuned radio frequency will be working. But this, as I have already said, it is very simple, but it is only used for fixed frequency. So this will be having some disadvantages. So this RF selection, it is clearly given about the step-by-step stages. Okay, in this here, RF selection or the receiver front-end selection, which is used to detect the signal, band limited the received RF signal and amplifying the received signal. Then AM detector that you will be using to convert your original information, AM waves, and convert it to the original information signal. Then audio selection will be used to amplify the recovered signal, whatever the signal is. This is the detector stage where you will be demodulating your AM signal, means separating the carrier frequency, and you will be getting the original information signal or the message signal. Then it is given to your audio selection stage, which is used to amplify your recovered signal. Okay, fine. Now see some advantages, then we'll go for the disadvantages. Okay, so the advantages of your TRF are nothing but your tuned radio frequency receiver is simple to design, okay, and allow the broadcast frequency about 535 kilohertz to 1645 kilohertz. At this particular frequency range to some fixed frequency, you will be able to design a TRFs. Now the second one is high sensitivity. This is one more advantage of your, what we'll say, TRFs. Now let's see the disadvantages of your TRFs, which are more than that of your advantages. First one is your, at the higher frequency it produces difficulty in design. So whenever you are going for the higher frequencies, it is very difficult to design your whole receiver system. Okay, second one, it will be having poor audio quality. We are saying that the major limitation in your TRF is that it will be having the poor audio quality. You won't be able to hear the proper audio signal at the receiver side. So it is a major drawback of your TRF is that these receivers will be arising the variations of the bandwidth over a tuning range. So because of these variations of bandwidth, which will be having a direct effect on the frequency content of your received signal. So what happens, these TRF receivers are thus considered to suffer more selectivity problem. They won't be able to select a proper frequency from where you will be getting up signals or your message signal frequency. So that's the reason we say that it will be having poor audio quality. And next one, you will be having the drawbacks. The complete drawbacks are your instability. That is one of the drawback, instability. Then you will be having variation in bandwidth. Bandwidth will be varying because you will be having a, what we will say, radio frequency amplifiers, AF stage. Then you will be having poor selectivity. All these are has come under in your poor audio quality. I have said that one. That first one is poor audio quality will be there. Poor selectivity will also be there. That is also major drawback. Then you will be having variation in the bandwidth and instability. It is also a what we will say, second major limitation of your tuned radio frequency receiver, because what we will say, this TRF receiver is instability due to the large number of RF amplifiers which are all tuned to same center of frequency or the same frequency. Why we are not having stability? Because we will be having 2 to 3 radio frequency amplifiers. So that's the reason they are tuning a lot. So that's the reason we will not be having this stability. It will be having instability. We will be having a variation in the bandwidth. It is very difficult to select a proper frequency. It has poor selectivity. It will be having poor audio quality, and the at the higher frequency it produces very difficult to design these particular receivers at the higher frequency. So that's the reason. These are the what we'll say. We'll go for the next receiver, that is your super heterodyne receivers. So let's just once see what are the drawbacks clearly. What is instability? Due to high frequency, multi-stage amplifiers are susceptible to breaking into oscillations. You will be getting so many oscillations. So that's the reason, forcing the device to work as an oscillator instead of an amplifier. So what this actually does, This RF amplifier, because of its tuning every time, so instead of it is used as amplifier, it will be producing so many frequency like if it is an oscillator. What is actually an oscillator? Which will be producing a carrier frequency. So instead of that one, it will be working as oscillator. So that's the reason we are saying that it has instability. Second one, you will going for variation in bandwidth. So the bandwidth is inconsistent and varies with the center frequency when tuned over a wide range of input frequencies. So that's the reason we are saying that variation will be there in the bandwidth, and as the frequencies, the bandwidth increases, thus the selectivity of the input filters changes over any appreciable range of input frequencies. So whenever the bandwidth will be changing, frequency will also be changing, so it will be very difficult to design this one, and you will be having poor selectivity because the gains are not uniform over a wide range of frequency, and due to the higher frequencies ability to select a desired signal is affected. So that's the reason we are unable to select a particular frequency. So we can say that the one of the drawback is your poor selectivity. So due to these drawbacks, this TRF receiver is very rarely used. So as to overcome all these disadvantages which are present in your tuned radio frequency receivers, we are going for the super heterodyne receivers. Okay, what are the drawbacks? We are having 1 to 2 advantages of your tuned radio frequency, and double the rate of that one we will be having the disadvantages. The first disadvantage is poor selectivity you are having, variation in the bandwidth you will be having, instability you will be having, poor audio quality will be having, and if you are going to use these TRFs at a higher frequency ranges, there it is very difficult to produce the design of this particular receiver. So these are the drawbacks, advantages, design, and the block diagram of your tuned radio frequency receivers. I hope you are clear with this. Okay. So in case of any doubts about your TRF, please do let me know. In next class, we will be going to see about your super heterodyne receivers, what are its stages and how it is overcoming, what are the drawbacks we have occurred in your TRFs. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.